Jeffrey was adopted to this family when he was 9 months old. The family was very physically abusive, caused a lot of neglect, and there was a lot of domestic violence in the home. He stayed with this family until the adoptive mother committed suicide. And so he was admitted to the University of Utah Neuropsychiatric Institute. He didn't stabilize there well enough to go back home, so they actually placed him at the Utah State Hospital. He was at the state hospital for almost 2 years, where they transitioned him back home. At that point, he found out that his adoptive father had also committed suicide.
He had experienced just large amounts of trauma. It was amazing how many things he'd gone through in just his short life, which left him pretty much alone except for extended family, and dealing with all of those tragedies in his life. And that's why we got him, is that he was really struggling with that. He was angry and he was depressed and at high risk for self-harm, very aggressive, so aggressive in fact that he wasn't able to attend school consistently because he was constantly being suspended for assaulting his teachers.
And he would be extremely aggressive at school, throwing things, flipping over desks, hitting his teacher. He had a lot of trouble at school.
So when Jeffrey came into our home, he was very shy and started having these feelings, obviously, about his dad.
And everything that he regretted in his life, everything that he missed out on, the fact that he didn't have his parents, made him angry, and he had no idea how to control it.
So that was his mentality, was that he was a bad kid. And that's really what he thought he was. He thought, I'm a bad kid. He didn't realize that he was just a kid who didn't know how to express his feelings. So one time when Jeffrey was having a really rough day, he was throwing things, he was hitting walls, he was really upset. I tried a different approach. Instead of doing a restraint, I asked Jeffrey for a hug. And he was kind of taken aback. And he gave me a hug, and he was very shocked. And we recognized after that moment that Jeffrey's love language was very much touch. If he had some form of touch, he could come back to reality. He could deal with those emotions.
I did a trauma assessment with Jeffrey when he first came in, and that assessment showed all of his trauma symptoms as being clinically significant. So he had a lot of trouble in areas such as depression, anxiety, anger, and PTSD. 6 months after he was in the home with us, I re-administered that assessment, and all of those areas had dropped below the clinically significant line. So just in 6 months, he made a ton of progress.
One thing we would do for the youth in the home is we would tuck them in every night, and it was a really big deal to Jeffrey.
Well, it makes sense because doing this type of interaction is an unconditional love, similar to what you'd see a parent do.
Yeah, he'd lie down on the ground to kind of make sure that we would tuck him in, because we would come down, and if he fell asleep on the ground, then he knew that we hadn't tucked him in. And he tested us, and there were a couple times where, yes, we didn't tuck him in, and we felt very bad about that.
And he just really grew and was able to use his skills with very little prompting. All those kind of things just started to really move and show us progress.
He's such a good friend. He really cares about other people. He is so smart. He is an incredible kid. He just didn't know how to express these extreme emotions that he had. And once he was able to do that, he just blossomed into this incredible, incredible youth. He is an amazing kid.
Jeffrey will be a great dad. He will be a great husband. He has so much to offer to everyone that will come across in his life and that he meets.